Jurassic World.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I get eaten by a dinosaur.
Kevin's been in everything.
Hey, welcome back to the Amusement Archive. Today we're going to go to the Rodeo Cinema, check out a Five Nights at Freddy's movie screening, and they're also doing a Q&A with the suit actor for Freddy Fazbear and Chica. So let's go. Let's check this place out. I have never been here before. Looks pretty dang cool. Looks like when you come in, there's a little lounge here that you can hang out. Pretty cool. Wyatt's hanging out over there. We got our popcorn. Got a little concession stand over here. Pretty awesome popcorn and everything. Howdy, welcome there. Rodeo Cinema. Let's check out this theater here. Never been here before. Wow, this looks pretty cool. Got some seats up front and then some up here on the sides. Pretty awesome.
So, we're going to do the Q&A right now, and everybody ask anything you want to know about the movie. If we have answers, we will give you answers, and we are also...
I think we'll tell some stories too.
We'll tell stories.
Yeah.
Also, we brought our pictures that we had at the convention, so everybody gets free autographed pictures.
Free.
Okay? And let's just have a good time, and we cross our fingers, and hopefully they get the movie going.
Yeah.
And if they don't, we chat a little longer, and then you guys go home and watch it on Peacock or whatever it is. Out of our control. Really sorry about it. It would have been fun, but I have a feeling you've all seen the movie already.
Yeah.
So you've done the research.
Has anyone not seen the movie?
Yeah, raise your hand if you have not seen the movie.
Okay, we have one.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
We'll try not to spoil it for you.
So no spoilers.
We'll gently dance around it.
We'll talk in code.
Yeah.
About specific things and why Bonnie fell down.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Right? Yeah.
So first, I think we should talk about first is when we went to the Jim Henson's Creature Shop.
Okay. Yeah.
And we did our fitting.
Yeah.
So
what was your experience like? I haven't actually heard that. I don't know about you guys. I like sitting down and really digging in. And did I break something?
No, you didn't break it.
Okay. It was already broken. That's fine.
Yeah.
So what was your experience like going into Henson's?
When I first heard about this project and was contacted about this project, and I heard that the Jim Henson Creature Shop was going to be building the suits, I totally fangirled out and was.
They made Sesame Street.
Yeah, they do. So
and the Muppets.
We got to the Jim Henson Creature Shop, and they pulled us into their conference room, which had the original Oscar the Grouch from Sesame Street.
Their conference room is specifically designed to impress clients.
Oh yeah.
So they put everything into it, and everything else is like you go into the shop where they're building stuff, and it smells like glue and formaldehyde and not but it's like, okay, this is you go into the conference room, you're like, I'm on Sesame Street.
Yeah. It was. They had so many recognizable characters that I just was like, oh my god.
Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
The whole Fraggle Rock was there. And Dark Crystal.
Yeah, the Dozers. The little green guys from Fraggle Rock.
I'm not as
Dozer, thank you. Yeah. They were when they rebooted Fraggle Rock, they were rebuilding, when they were redoing Fraggle Rock, the new series that's out, it had to make all the little costumes, and they hand-stitched those. And I'm like, and they had multiples of everything. So it was like going to a warehouse, a clothing warehouse for the donors. It was like little hats. Yes, I was like, I was trying to play it cool, but like inside, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I'm not cool.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, there's Oscar and Big Bird.
Yeah.
And, Elmo, he was there, and Kermit. And I don't know how many Kermits they have.
Oh gosh, yeah, and it was so incredible. And then we go into the creature shop, and it was like,
Right.
you got to see the magic it made.
And then that's the first time we saw our costumes.
Yeah.
We saw Freddy, Bonnie, Chica.
Yeah.
And I seriously, the first impression I had was like, it was like somebody reached into the game, grabbed the characters, and pulled them out and made them real, and that's exactly what happened. It was like, they look absolutely perfect. In which you guys seen the movie. Not you, not giving anything, but they look amazing, right? They're incredible. And even in person, up close, they look exactly the same. They look perfect.
Yeah. It literally looked like somebody had just hit a button and they just materialized.
Exactly.
I was blown away. I was like, oh my god. Like even down to like the dirt and like, I mean.
Yeah, they were slightly withered.
Mm-hmm.
You guys who play the games know, you know what that's about. And, not perfect. But and then, when we did the photo shoot with young Vanessa,
yeah,
they spent all night. These wranglers, the people who are responsible for making the suits look how they do,
and taking care of them, the maintenance.
Yeah, they switched it out overnight. They stayed up all night
to reskin them.
To restore them to when they were brand new. And so the photo in the movie we take with young Vanessa, we are transformed into perfect unwithered versions.
We took that photo the last night of shooting. Yeah, the last night.
Oh, the last thing we did before rap.
Oh no, I thought the last thing we did before rap was dance. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have seen. There's an internet clip of us dancing on stage to different songs, and that was when we rapped. They said, okay, that's a picture rap.
We knew we were done, and
we
danced because we were so happy to be done.
We were having so much fun. And then the whole crew started dancing too.
Yeah, it was
the whole crew came in and started dancing with us. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. Yeah. But I don't want to keep talking unless people have questions. We're more than happy to keep telling stories, but does anybody have a question? Oh, I see a hand back there.
These lights are kind of blinding us. I can't really see.
What was your favorite scene to film in the movie?
What was our favorite scene to film in the movie? You go first.
When Mike meets the animatronics for the first time. I don't know if you remember. So Mike comes in and he's worried, trying not to spoil anything. Abby is screaming. We know why she's screaming. But then Mike comes in, he's concerned, and I see Mike, I turn, I beeline to him. He's got the chair, and that was really fun for me because I actually got to make some choices about what Freddy is thinking, what his concern is at that point. And to me, Freddy is concerned about Abby's safety, which is weird because Mike is concerned about the exact same thing. So I really enjoyed shooting that.
That's a good one. Yeah, I really enjoyed in rehearsal. There's a scene where the cupcake, Bonnie and I are with the cupcake in a hallway, and Cupcake's about, to go explore and try not to ruin it. But in rehearsal, when we did that, I had so much fun trying to find out the movement that would happen, and we ended up not doing the movement in rehearsal. But I think ultimately my favorite scene was when I take Abby into the parts room. And that was a lot of fun. It was fun technically, and just, I really felt like I got to really explore what Chica would do as a character.
And I gotta say, I wasn't there when you guys shot that, but that was a fun scene to watch.
Oh.
I really enjoyed watching that scene.
Yeah, I just, as I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, and that happened, and it was a lot of fun.
I see a hand way in the back there.
Did Springtrap actually stab Vanessa in the stomach?
Oh, did Springtrap actually stab Vanessa?
No.
That's movie magic.
Yeah, exactly. And if you watch that scene again, you hear the sound, but you don't, and you see Vanessa react. You don't actually see the knife or what is happening with the knife. So when you watch it again, hopefully tonight,
I have faith.
you don't actually see it. You hear it. And that's the movie magic, is when you put the sound together with the reaction, with the acting, you feel like you saw it, but you didn't.
You know, there's a lot of parts in the movie that are like that.
Oh, absolutely.
You
Yeah.
like, you think that you see something actually happen, and that's the beauty of movie magic.
Like the twirling blades.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you
like-
imagine what's about to
Yeah,
happen.
But when you really
Yeah.
look at it again and like really analyze it, you don't actually see the bad parts. It's your mind letting you play out those bad parts.
Your mind head.
Yeah, and so that's, you know, and a lot of movies do that, and I think they did a wonderful job at that, letting your imagination, you know, fill in those spots. And I think by doing that, that kind of makes the movie a little different and a little scarier,
Well,
maybe not so scary for
I'll
the
tell you
people.
what, so my son is 9, my daughter's 7. Katie, my daughter, said the movie's not scary at all. Braden said it's the perfect amount of scary. Okay, good. His friend Julian, who just turned 10, we had a sleepover a week ago, and we watched it. But he's not good with scary stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, let's watch it at home. I'll be there. We can pause it. I can explain to you how everything happened. We started watching it at night. We got 30 seconds in, and Julian pulled the plug. He was, no, we're not going to do this. So we waited until the next morning. We had breakfast. The sun was up. Everything was bright, and then we watched it. And the most scared he was when he was anticipating something being scary. So he was expecting something scary. And that the movie is designed for that. The twirling, all that stuff.
That's how
That's what you're supposed to feel.
Yeah,
And-
that's why I can't play the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, something really scary is gonna happen, and it gets my anxiety going. I'm like, nope, I'm done. Nope.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I see a question over
yeah,
there.
there you go.
How did Cupcake move?
Oh, that's a good question. How did Cupcake move? So there were 3 different versions of the Cupcake. The Cupcake, there was a fully animatronic version that the puppeteers could control with a remote control, and would open up the mouth, blink the eyes, the colors of the eyes, and his little candle would turn on. So that was the full animatronic one. Then there was a hand puppet version that they could use. I don't know, I know that they used it in rehearsal, but I don't remember if they, not stunt, the hand one. I know, because we used it in
In the
rehearsal.
hallway,
That's what I thought.
I feel like they were like.
Yeah. He was saying in the hallway.
I think they used the hand puppet in the hallway scene. We can
That's what I
call
thought.
Matt or Andy and figure that out.
Yeah, but see, I know we did that in rehearsal. I don't know if we actually did it on the day.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Yeah. So
I check out when I'm
Yeah.
not there. I'm like, no.
So there was the hand puppet version, and literally it was just a puppeteer's hand inside of it, controlling it, moving it around. And then there was the stunt version. And the stunt version was just purely made out of foam, and that was the version that I held on to because that was the lightest version, but it was 5 pounds.
And it was also when Cupcake needs to fly through the air and like
Exactly.
get kicked off.
Yeah, so we don't
So it
damage.
doesn't break.
Exactly, yeah. And that was, I love hanging out with the stunt Cupcake. I bring it around, set, you're like, where are we going, guys?
She became a little attached.
Yeah, I did. I miss him a lot. I miss my Cupcake. But anyway, but
Oh, I
yeah.
see a hand way back there.
Did Foxy's arm actually catch on fire?
Ooh, did Foxy's arm actually catch on fire? This
Was
is
it
a
the
hot
arm? When did it become the arm? Because when I first heard it was like the head. But I don't even
I
know.
thought it was the arm. I was
Okay.
on set near Bobby when this happened.
Again, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I know that on the radio. I was talking to Bobby, and on the radio, somebody said, Foxy's smoking. And Bobby goes, yeah, he is. He looks great.
It's like, yeah, Foxy's hot.
Yeah, and he's like, no, he's actually smoking. So
Like
that's
he's
when he was
putting
like,
out
oh my
smoke.
God. Yeah. So he didn't actually catch fire. It was just with a lot of times with these robotic parts, they can just wear out and, you know, just a little bit of smoke.
All the facial features are controlled by servos, which are small electronic motors. Electronic motors generate heat really quickly. So if you're working one for 30 seconds straight, that thing needs to be shut down or it's gonna break.
Yeah.
So they had to replace servos a lot, and that's what happened with the Foxy servo, is it just overheated. It was being used for too long, which might have been 45 seconds, which is not that long. And so it starts smoking, it burns out, and then you've got to replace it. So there wasn't an actual fire, like you're not seeing flames, but it did burn out. I had a thing that I did once, it was a test for a creature shop doing the Fantastic Four. And so they put the Thing character, does everyone know the Thing? He's made of rock and all that. Yeah. So they did this makeup on me to show the studio, because they were bidding on the contract. They were working the servo. The servos in the eyebrows, moving eyebrows are really good for creating expressions in the face. They were doing it for 3, 4, 5 minutes straight, and it started burning my eyebrow. So Avi Arad, who is like, you know, Kingpin of Marvel, and then like all of the other studio execs who are making decisions are standing around this parking lot watching me do expressions. Meanwhile, my eyebrow is burning. And I'm trying to sit, I can't go, hey bro, stop, my eyebrow's burning, because they're not gonna get the contract. I was trying to signal, I was like, stop it. My eyebrow's on fire. And we took the makeup off, and there was blisters.
Oh.
That was rough.
Yeah. That's one thing that that you were telling me, because this was my first creature job, that you were telling me you need to be an advocate for yourself, and that, you know,
you gotta pace yourself. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Don't spend yourself for this shot.
Yeah.
Because you got 12 more hours to work. Mm-hmm. So you've got to take care of production by conserving your own energy and whatever it is, so you can work the whole day and get all the shots, right? If you need to go, you need to call Uncle and go, hey, I need 5 minutes, because otherwise I'm not going to last. You want me to last throughout the day. I've been trying to tell Jade this the whole time. But Jade's a circus guy. Jade played Bonnie. He's a high wire walker. He not only walks a high wire, he lights it on fire and then walks across it.
Yeah.
Right? He's all go, no quit. And I'm like, Jade, it's okay to say uncle sometimes.
There was a time that with Jade, it was.
Oh, his head went numb.
Yeah, his head.
So we're wearing these helmets. That's what everything's mounted to. The head.
17 pounds.
It was pressing on a nerve in his skull, and half of his skull went numb. He's like, guys, I can't feel my head. I'm like, okay.
Heads off. Heads off.
Heads off.
Heads off. Yeah. That was our thing, and that was one thing that all three of us talked about, was that at any point that if one of us needed heads off, we all agreed heads off immediately.
And we had a rehearsal too. We had a test, because the question did come up about what if the head catches on fire. That was a real possibility.
Yeah.
So we did a test, and we're like, okay,
how fast?
Once you hear the words heads off, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you have a baby in your hands. You put that thing down and you get the heads off.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what's going on, right? It might be a fire inside the head, so you have to get up. It took 8 seconds.
Yeah.
In the test to get the heads off. I was like, unsatisfied.
Yeah, they were very, you know, they were very good. Jim Henson crew was very good, very on it, very attentive to what was going on with us. They constantly check in with us, be like, are you okay? Are you okay? And sometimes it'd be like, I'm fine. Yeah, they were really awesome.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I was like,
I just want to sit on my box.
Yeah, we would, there's this, we called it turtling. So when the heads came off, our heads looked so tiny because it's so big. And then when you would sit down, the body would come like up to here, and you just see the top of our heads.
Sometimes we do that on purpose.
Yeah, we're like, so we would just turtle.
That was great.
And then be like, what? What's going on, guys? Are we ready? Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you want to call the next one?
I'd say over here.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the hardest scene to film? Sorry.
Can you say it again a little louder?
How do you see for the mask?
How do you see?
Oh, how do we see? Oh, Kevin. So Kevin had more
I was
visibility.
very lucky.
Yeah.
I have a
Kevin.
wide mouth.
Yeah. Well.
She had a tiny mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kevin, as long as his mouth was open, he was able to see. I couldn't see. The beak, where my head was, the top of my head, like where my eyebrows were was the bottom beak. And if my puppeteer Amanda, if she, my mouth could go really wide, but it was never like that in the movie. So when it was really wide, I could see about like 3 inches and maybe 2 feet in front
So
of me.
you were at the bottom.
Yeah.
Trying to peek over.
Yep,
Oh,
yeah,
God, that's
yeah.
terrible. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so, and it was like, and then when I was,
Sorry about that.
well, that's why I'm like, I couldn't see, that's why, like,
had it pretty
in the
good.
beginning, I was like, where is everything? And then I just ended up just,
Oh, meanwhile, Jess is doing this with like a
Oh,
5-pound cupcake, turning her wrist out, trying to hold it up, and her arms cramping up,
Oh,
and she's
God.
getting carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
No, I had it pretty good, I guess.
yeah. Some people have to
So
work.
there was one scene where I had to walk about 10, 12 feet and then hit a mark. So when you say hit a mark in a movie, it's like there's a little tape X or T on the floor, and that's where you try to land so you're in the right spot for the camera and all that. I walked past it and they're like, "Cut, Kevin, you missed your mark." I'm like, "Yeah, the mouth is closed. I can't see anything."
Yeah.
So I said, "Hey, ask Artie." Artie Esposito was the puppeteer controlling my face. And I got to shout out his performance because I watched the movie and I was like, man, Artie crushed it. Like the facial
Yeah.
expressions in Freddy, I had nothing to do with. And the funny thing is, we're inside the costume, so we didn't get to see any of that until the movie came out.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, that's what's happening around me. I'm like,
That's
I
all
could hear
that
it.
noise, that motor noise.
Yeah. And it's like I could hear some of the talking, but I couldn't because it was a little. It sounded to me, it sounded like a DSL mode. It was like, but I couldn't really. I had no idea what was going on.
So I said, hey, can you guys ask Artie to crack the mouth open just a little bit? He cracked it about 0.5 centimeter. And that was enough because I could see some of the furniture in the restaurant. So I was like, oh, okay, I see that, I know where I need to be. All right.
Yeah, that's you.
What was the hardest scene to film in the movie?
Ooh, what was the hardest scene to film?
The hardest
Kevin.
scene to film
Oh, Kevin.
was something you didn't see.
Yeah, it didn't make the cut. You saw a little
I'm
bit
still
of it.
bitter.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because
fort
it was
building.
very physically demanding
Yes.
for all of us.
You remember the fort building scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when Bonnie falls?
Yeah.
Like his arms were up and he
Uh,
was standing on my back in that scene.
Yeah, and then
And they didn't show it. They cut it. And me and Jade were sitting, Jade played Bonnie. We were sitting next to each other in the movie. And when that happened, we both leaned our heads in like, oh no. That was the most painful thing we did in the whole movie, and they cut it. If you go to my Instagram is actor Kevin Foster. I put a still picture of what was actually happening in that. He's standing on my back, Foxy's standing on her back, and you see Brett,
Yeah.
the puppeteer, in a green screen suit controlling Foxy's hand. It's
Yeah.
a great picture,
it is.
and it explains everything that was going on there. And we were sore after that.
It was
And
for
didn't make
me.
the movie.
For me, it was I was on my knees and my hands, so that Foxy could stand on my back. For me, it was just the amount of pressure from the 17 pounds at the head, and with my beak, it was pulling down even further. So in between them setting up, they had to rush in a apple box, which is it's a wooden box, so that I could rest my head like this, so that it wouldn't pull on my neck, because it was just tight. Like the back of my neck, I had to keep very stiff so that the head would stay still.
It's times like that when I'm on set that I think, I went to college. Like, what is happening here? Like, I'm in a jumble of humanity on the ground sometimes, just like, why did I go to college?
It's funny,
This is what I'm doing now. What?
when that was happening to me, I was just like singing a song in my head so that I
You
could.
gotta check out.
Yeah, I was like,
You really do.
I'm like, it's gonna be over soon.
And that's why we danced. On the last thing, that's why we danced, because it's so uncomfortable in there. It was really fun doing the movement, and it's an honor to get to be these characters that people love so much. But it's uncomfortable. And so when they said cut on the last shot and you see us dancing,
Well, it was also,
that was pure joy. Of like,
well, it was
yes,
also,
we're getting out of these things.
it was really the first time that we got to do whatever movement we wanted with those characters.
Because we were mentally hamstrung to, you cannot look like people. You have to look like animatronics.
And we went through
for 2
different
months.
versions.
We were doing that.
Yeah.
So when we were done and we started moving like people, and just kind of, and then Emma got up on the stage and started dancing with us. It was so fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. At one point, one of the puppeteers came up to me and was like, "Do you want to take your hat off?" I'm like, "Leave it on! We're having fun!" We danced a good bit, too.
Yeah.
It felt really good to just express.
Let loose.
Yeah.
Let loose and just be people.
Yeah.
Again.
What was y'all's favorite part about filming it?
Oh.
I would imagine the dancing part.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. But
honestly, for me, like, she lives in New Orleans, I live in LA, and every time I work in LA, it's a very small stunt community. So the fact that every day I go to work, I'm just hanging out with my friends. Kind of like going to school. It's like, you know, go to work, go to school, there's your friends, and we're hanging out and we're doing something. Oh, by the way, we're shooting a movie too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But just hanging out with my friends every day was awesome.
it was, and that was one thing that I really like about, you know, I've been very blessed because my experience in the stunt community is in New Orleans, and we are family. It's a very much a family atmosphere, and we all take care of each other, and we all care for each other. And, you know, that's the only thing that I've known, and I've been told by other stunt guys that it hasn't always been like that. So I've been very blessed for that, and it's like, Kevin said something, I'm sorry, I'm gonna expose you. Kevin said something very sweet to me. He said, you know, I've never had a little sister until I met you. And I was like, oh. I was like, that's right, I'm your Chica. Question over here?
So for a property that has such deep lore and such specific expectations from the fan base, what creatively were you able to bring for these characters?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's funny you asked that because, okay, so we found out we were gonna do this December of 22, right?
Yes,
So a little over a year ago. I got the script, I read it, I've done a lot of creature suit work, and so I kind of already knew the demands of the job. I would read the script and go, okay, what is going to need to be seen on screen? How are we going to accomplish that? So over Christmas break of 22, every day I spent a couple hours making a chart of every single move that all of these characters make in the entire movie. And I wrote down the attitude of the characters at that point, what their goals are, what they're trying to do, what information they know, what information they don't know, and then also what information does the audience have at this point, because that feeds into it as well. Now, I way overthought it. That's way too much.
But what you were doing a character analysis essentially.
Absolutely.
But it was just, you know, it was movement, motivational character analysis.
And a lot of that ended up being useful. A lot of it ended up going in the garbage, which is, that's normal for movies. It's like most of what you do goes in the garbage. And you keep the best stuff in the edit, and there you go. But then most of our work, we had a 4-week rehearsal period. most of our work was about how do we approach the movement physically? Because so when you're doing creature suit work, you can't do it as a regular actor with your own body, because what you do, the expressions you make, the moves you make, translate one-to-one. They translate literally to camera, like that's what it is. When you're in a creature suit, you have to approach it like you're driving a vehicle, right? Like you're turning a steering wheel, you're working the gear shifter, whatever you're doing, it doesn't look how it feels. So the rehearsal process is to learn what it looks like when you do certain movements. And so we relied heavily on each other, me, Jess, Jade, and Andy, the stunt coordinator. That 4 weeks was about, okay, I'm gonna try this, moving this way. How does that look? Like, oh, that looks good. Oh no, that looks terrible. It's like, you look like a human in a suit. Okay, yeah, throw that in the garbage. Oh, that looks robotic. The 4 weeks of rehearsal is how we learned all that stuff. And there was nobody there going, oh, no, this is the instruction manual, how to do this. We were inventing it in rehearsals. And Scott, the first day we met Scott, he came into our rehearsal space, and we talked a little bit about other creature suit movies that I've done. He was familiar with them. And then it was the scene where Golden Freddy and Abby show up outside the restaurant. Yeah. And I saw him standing alone, and I was like, God, it would be really useful to have Scott here while we're shooting, because he's gonna guide us. So I go up to him and I was like, hey, are you gonna be here when we're inside the restaurant? He goes, yeah, I want to be all the time.
And he was. He was there from
the whole time.
The whole time.
And he says, he was quiet for about 30 seconds, and he goes, I've been so worried about this. And I said, what? The movement? He goes, yeah. I go, well, that was all I needed. I was like, well, let me show you what we've been doing. Yeah. And so I told him, the stuff that we were trying that didn't seem to work. We went through the whole process. In a few minutes, I just went through the whole process of what we had been working on. And I showed him what we landed on as far as how we approach the movement. He goes, I feel a lot better now. And then that was it. And it's like, hey, if Scott's happy, we're all happy. Because he was very involved, and but not in an intrusive way. It could absolutely go bad having the creator of the game be so involved, but he was perfect. Yeah, he was the perfect amount of involved.
Well, I mean, this was from his baby.
Yes.
And he wanted to make sure that it was relayed in a way that would be acceptable to the fans. Yes. And that's what was amazing, and that. His relationship with Emma, the director, was, that wasn't the case. I don't know if Scott would have been okay filming it either.
Honestly, I don't think it could have gone better, that relationship, and the input we got from him. It was perfect. I don't even know if I answered your question.
As a former mascot and Jeffrey's giraffe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hours spent in front of the mirror, like, oh, I want to put my hands in my eyes. Well, Jeffrey says.
Yes, because you don't know, it doesn't, you've got to learn how it translates on the outside, right? And that's our rehearsal process. Thank God we had 4 weeks. It was awesome.
I think we got one more question right here.
Is Foxy actually possessed by a ghost?
Is Foxy actually possessed by a ghost? I don't know.
That's a tough question.
That's a tough question. That's a really good question. I don't know, because I didn't really spend a lot of alone time with Foxy.
Foxy has his own stage.
Yeah.
He's kind of a loner. We all hung out together all the time, so we got to know each other and our possessions very well. But Foxy's in, what is his stage called?
Oh. Does anybody remember what Foxy's stage is called?
Pirate's Cove, right, exactly.
Thank you.
Yes. So he didn't spend as much time with us as we spent with each other. So it's hard to say. And I'm actually legit researching that right now for a book I'm writing called The Science of Possessed Animatronics. No crap, I'm really doing it.
How many more questions can we answer? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah.
The technical difficulties are persisting, and unfortunately, the movie's not going to happen.
Sorry, guys.
But we got another 15
Yeah,
minutes.
we're happy to keep talking.
chatting.
If everyone's okay with
You guys
that,
want?
and then we'll do a little meet and greet out front. You guys can come, and we've got a few different photos you can take a look at, and we'll be more than happy to sign them for you. Is that okay? We can do pictures too. Is that all right with you guys?
Yes.
All right. Oh, I see a question for you.
When all the FNAF YouTubers went to the set, were you in the suits? Were you like the people that were like interacting with the YouTubers?
Oh, the YouTubers?
Yes. Oh, so they kept the YouTubers away from us when they came to set, and we just, we're doing our thing. We don't really think anything of it, and then they told us we would like to introduce you to them, but you got to be in your full costume, and we're like, oh, obviously. So did they? I don't think they told us not to talk. We just agreed not.
Well, here's I remember this because I was like, no, I want to talk to them. I want to do this, and then Artie, the puppeteer who's controlling my head, he goes, absolutely do not talk. Like, you've got to stay here. Artie was the one that's adamant about do not talk. That's how it's going to go good. And he was absolutely right.
Oh, I didn't even realize
So we
that.
stayed in character, and they did not know we were people.
Yeah.
They thought we were
literally-
animatronics being controlled remotely.
Yeah, because they saw when they walked in, we're standing there, including Foxy, we're not on our stages, we're standing in front of the stage in like a semicircle, and the puppeteers were there, and they could see the puppeteers doing, moving the eyes and all that stuff, so they knew that they were being controlled by puppeteers, and so when they came in for hugs and stuff, that was us. Nobody told us to squeeze harder or to not let go, all of that. That was us. And then after they left is when they found out that there were actually people inside the suits.
Well, and then, so me and Jade separately went up to them and were like, hey, how you doing? I remember going up to these guys, they were all in a circle talking in our rehearsal space, and I was like, hey, how you guys doing? Kind of. They're like, okay. Like, had no clue how to, I go, yeah, I just met you guys, I was Freddy. And they're like, oh, what? You're a person? So that was fun. And those guys were so nice.
Super nice.
Very, very cool.
And just their excitement, the excitement that they brought to the set, I really liked that.
That was maybe my favorite part of
Yeah.
the whole movie is meeting them and seeing their reactions.
Yeah.
Because that was really the first
They
time
were blown away.
It was a real test of, like Scott said, these cannot look like people in costumes. They have to look like animatronics. That was the real test. These 4 guys who had been playing the games for 9 years didn't know what we were. And so we had to step up and perform. And that was our test. And that was the most rewarding thing.
They only were supposed to be in town for like a day or 2 or something.
Well, Ryan, 8-Bit Ryan was there for 2 days. And
that's
then,
right, yeah.
Daco, Raz, and Baz were there the whole week.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that they were, because it helped, because I was nervous just with the character movement, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope this is translating well, I really hope that I've got the Chica movements down, and when they said that, they were like, we had no idea. That was the confirmation I need, and that gave me a huge confidence boost.
It was a real energy boost to go,
Exactly.
okay, we can finish this thing
Yeah.
out, let's rock.
Yeah.
You got a question?
Oh. Yeah, so some of them we didn't get to meet because they were filming, we were in rehearsal. Or
Matt Pat was the waiter in the diner. Corey was the cab driver.
You met Corey, right?
I didn't actually meet him. I worked on the whole scene. I was there the whole night. I was hanging on the cab door.
Yeah.
So Corey is the cab driver. The taxi goes, right? Because Golden Freddy gets in. I was there because I was Golden Freddy. But then Scott called Emma and says, Golden Freddy doesn't move. So it's a puppet on a stand. It's not the performer, right? Okay, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not getting in Golden Freddy tonight. But because the taxi had to do that and then stay that way for the whole scene, we had the special effects team had an air jack under the left side of the car, and they would hit the button and go, and it would blow up, rocking it. Me and Andy, the stunt coordinator, would hang on the door of the taxi. So the whole scene, I'm hanging on the door, hoping Corey gets it right. And I'm like, oh, please, God. We did it like 30 times. And so grooves getting worn into my hand from the top of the door. So there's Corey. And then the guys, the YouTubers who are, those are the only guys who are actually in the movie. And then you got Dawko, Lewis Dawkins, super sweet guy. Razbowski. And then Baz, which is confusing because his name is also Ryan. But then there's 8-Bit Ryan. So all those guys, Scott invited to the set just to hang out for a week. Super nice guys, awesome hanging out with them. So that's it. Those were good. And then on the Employee of the Month wall,
There.
Dawko and Baz or Baz?
Oh, I don't remember.
Their names are so confusing. Two of those guys are on the Employee of the Month wall. Dawko's one of them, and I think Raz. Oh, sorry.
All four of them. Okay.
Oh, they all four are? Okay.
It's we knew that it was like a nice little
Even
Easter
Ryan.
egg.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta go watch it again.
Yeah.
I gotta pause it. You had a question?
Are you guys fans of the game franchise before the movie?
So I knew about the game franchise, and it was like I don't do well with jump scare games, so I never played it. I watch people play it, that doesn't bother me. But playing it myself was like, I couldn't do it. So when I found out about this role, I was like, okay, let me give it a try. I can do this. I'm a big girl. I can do it. And I didn't even, it was the first jump scare. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. Let me just load up some YouTube because I can't do this. But it made me dive deeper into the lore of it and really appreciate the whole franchise and just the universe of it, because I had absolutely no idea how deep it went. And I probably don't even know 5% of the lore. And it's like, I'm still learning about it. I'm still having conversations with fans about it. I learn something new every convention. I'm like, what? And then I go back and read, and it's great.
I was aware that it was a game, but that's it. And then so I got the job, and my son and I started playing it together, December of 22. We started rehearsing in January of 23. I read Into the Pit on the plane coming here Friday. So I'm trying to read some of the books to just learn more about it. But again, like Jess, I don't know a fraction of what there is to know about this. Seriously, we were shooting this movie, and Jade, who played Bonnie, his son was 12, and he knew everything.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever we had a question, we're like, oh, why is this like this? Call Gabriel. All right, we call Gabriel. We go, Gabriel. We'd be at rehearsal going, Gabriel, okay, why does this happen? What's going on here? And he would just tell us everything.
Yeah. I remember one time we were, as the set was being built, you and Jay were walking the set, and you go, wait a minute, is this door right? And I remember you both calling him immediately.
The two doors. In
Yes, yeah. You called him immediately.
So I want to know your opinion. There's one door in the office in the movie. Okay, acceptable,
Did anybody
atrocious.
even realize it?
Like,
or-
how do we feel about that? That there's one door in the office. It's okay?
There needs to be
Not
two.
okay?
No.
I don't think it's okay.
Because in the game there's two doors.
Yeah, and the games too, yeah.
How is there one? Like, we saw that, we walked in the office, we're like, oh no, this won't do. But it wasn't a thing in the movie. It wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Guess. 5. Okay, so we have 5 minutes left before we have to go.
Yeah.
So a couple more questions. Yes.
How'd you guys get into this work? Because you mentioned you went to college, so was your dream to always be a
So Kevin in college, actually, would do daredevil-y stunt stuff. No, Kevin was actually, he started
I
out
did
as a
some
gymnast.
stupid stuff.
Yeah. And
Well,
you
okay,
tried-
so I was a gymnast in high school. I started doing Taekwondo and I started studying acting in college. That's really how it happened. I remember there's a movie with Brendan Fraser called With Honors and Joe Pesci. They shot the graduation scene at my school, at Illinois, because it looked like Harvard. And I remember going up and going, yeah, I just want to talk to the director. Just an utterly ridiculous request.
You got booted off of.
Movie set. Oh, I got taken to security at Universal. Yeah. On the Grinch. So you guys remember that? You guys remember the Grinch movie with Jim Carrey? I was hustling. Okay, hustling for a stunt person is you go to set, you find the stunt coordinator, and go, hi, I'm a stunt guy. We haven't met. I want to work. Can you know? And that's the thing. And that's how I built my whole career. So I go hustle. I snuck into Universal Studios, and they were shooting the Grinch. And a guy named Charlie Crowell was the stunt coordinator. Now, Charlie Crowell was the stunt double for Michael J. Fox on Back to the Future. So I go to meet Charlie. Think about it. Charlie's not working that day. There's no stunts. Okay, but what do I see? I see Ron Howard directing. I'm like, oh God, Ron Howard directing. Jeez, I'm not leaving. I'm gonna watch this. So I stand there, and he's like, from you to me. This is what 20 feet away. Ron Howard's directing. You know the scene in The Grinch when Baby Grinch bites the Santa plate?
Oh, yeah.
He goes, Santa, bye-bye. That's the scene they're shooting. And I'm like, God, I get to watch Ron Howard direct. I'm hanging out. At that time, this wasn't happening. This is before cell phones. This is before touch screens, anything. I had a camera, and it was a high video camera, and I put my stunt reel on there. And I would take this around the sets, and I would say, hey, do you want to watch my stunt reel? At that time, most people were taking VHS tapes and handing them out. And then stunt coordinators would have stacks of VHS tapes in their closet they're never going to watch. But I would flip the screen on my camera and just show my stunt reel right there. So I had my camera with me in a bag. There's no stunt coordinator there. I'm not going to do that, but Ron Howard's director. I'll watch it. Right, great. I stood there about 10 minutes, watched this scene being directed, and then they took a break. And I go, all right, I'm going to go home. I'm walking out of the studio, and I hear, hey, hey, somebody yelling. I go, what's up? He goes, what are you doing? I go, leaving. And then he goes, why were you filming in there? I go, I wasn't. He goes, somebody saw you filming. I go, somebody lied. I wasn't filming, never took my camera out of the case. They took me to security at Universal Studios. And I'm telling everything I'm telling you guys, I'm telling this guy. Take me to security. The head of security is there. There's 6 security guards all standing around like they're tough. And I go, guys, I'm telling you what's happening. And I'm saying, watch the tape. There's 60 seconds of my stunt reel on the tape. There's nothing else. And I was literally in security for an hour. And finally, the head guy, he's like, all right, let's watch the tape. Let's watch it. Okay. Yes, please. I've been asking you to do that for an hour. After about 15 seconds, all of these security guys are like, ooh, that was cool. They're like watching my stunt and go, oh, wow, cool. After a minute, they're like, all right, yeah, he's just trying to get work. And I'm like, explain. I'm like, yeah. So I had to sign something saying I would never go to Universal Studios again without proper authorization. Yeah. I don't even know what the question was. Okay, good. Yeah.
I think we have time for one more. Right here, yep.
And thank you for coming out. It's really awesome that, this movie's successful, not because of the movie 100%, it's because the fans love it so much. So you guys actually made this happen. Yeah. And that's why we're here, because of you guys. So thank you.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you for welcoming us into your community.
Yeah.
And just being so, very kind to us. And that means a lot to me. That really does. So thank you so much.
We've had a lot of fun here this week.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we'll go out there and set up, and then you guys can come on.
About to get some autographs from Five Nights at Freddy's up here pretty soon. Pretty awesome.
How are you? Awesome.
Hi. Jurassic World.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I get eaten by a dinosaur.
Kevin's been in everything.
Wouldn't that be good?
Would you like a poster sign? Which one would you like? That one? You got it.
You like that one?
Yeah. Okay, cool. You guys seen the movie before, right? Yeah. What was your favorite part?
That's your dinner.
Oh, the fort scene.
It's a very popular scene.
It's very.
You know what my favorite part is? The bite. You remember in Freddy bites Max? Yeah. This one, yeah.
So we got some free autographs here because the movie didn't work, but super cool. Still got to see the Q&A. Here's the one I got signed. Here's the one that Jackson got signed, and then Wyatt got this one. So super exciting.
I also got one other one with Freddy sign, not
Yeah.
not Freddy and Chica.
He got a Freddy autograph yesterday if you want to check out the Collector's Conquest video. Man, kind of a bummer we didn't get to see the movie in the theater again, but we got an awesome Q&A, got some free autographs, and had a fun time. But thanks for taking a trip with the Amusement Archive. Got tons of videos. Check the playlist, find something you're interested in, have some fun watching some videos. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Hey, this is the Amusement Archive. I'm glad you stuck around, watched this video. Hopefully you stick around and watch plenty more videos. I just want to know, what kind of videos do you guys like? Are you into the ride-throughs, walkthroughs, the tours of places? Are you into toy hunts for Disney stuff? Souvenir hunts at gift shops? I try to provide all that kind of stuff in these videos. Hopefully you guys like them. Also want to offer up, I got a free sticker here. It looks kind of like this unless I change the design, but you can check the description. Either email me, find me on Instagram, and send me your address. I'll send you out a free sticker. Definitely appreciate everyone watching my videos, and hopefully I can grow this channel and provide more cool stuff for everyone to watch. Later.